Hello students, last time we talked about parametric equations. Today I want to talk about parametric inequalities in one unknown. Just parametric inequalities are defined as inequalities with certain parameters. Just we have to solve the inequality, and then after we have to discuss about the solution. In the parametric inequalities we have three cases. The first case is just where you have an equal sign. The second case just where you have inequality sign which is greater than, and the last case just where you have an inequality sign which is less than. Examples. Discuss about the solution of the following inequalities where m is a parameter. Number 1, m plus 3 times x is greater than or equal to 2. Just we have m plus 3 times x which is greater than or equal to 2. Just have to look at this coefficient in x. Case number 1, if m plus 3 is equal to 0, same as you have m which is equal to negative 3, then we replace now m by negative 3, we get 0x which is greater than or equal to 2. As you see, we have this 0 as the coefficient in x, and we are not able to get the value of x. Reason why the solution, there is no solution. There is no solution. So S is equal to an empty set. Case number 2. Now, if m plus 3 is greater than 0, so we have m which is greater than negative 3, then m plus 3 times x which is greater than or equal to 2 is equivalent. Now this coefficient in x, m plus 3, is positive. Now we're going to solve now the inequality as usual. Now we're going to divide both sides by m plus 3 which is negative, then we get x which is greater than 2 over m plus 3. Now the solution is sent to S is equal to have 2 over m plus 3 up to positive infinity. Case number 3. Case number 3. Now we have if m plus 3 is now less than 0, or we have m which is less than negative 3, then m plus 3 times x which is greater than or equal to 2 is equivalent. Pay attention now. Now this coefficient in x here is negative, and we have seen that if we divide or multiply both sides by the same negative number, then the inequality is reversed. Then since now m plus 3 is negative, then you have x, we have this inequality have to be reversed, then we get x which is less than or equal to 2 over m plus 3. Now the solution set is equal to x is less than or equal to 2 over m plus 3, then you have s which is equal to from negative infinity to 2 over m plus 3. This one is included, then height negative infinity is excluded. Example number 2. mx minus x plus 5 is less than or equal to 0. Okay? Solution, you have mx minus x plus 5 which is less than or equal to 0. Just you have to solve for x. We have mx minus x. We're going to take this 5 in the second side, it becomes negative. Then we put x out of brackets. Here we get m minus 1 times x, which is less than or equal to negative 5. And now we have the coefficient in x, which is m minus 1. Case number 1. If m minus 1 is equal to 0, we have m which is equal to 1, then we replace m by 1, we get 0x, which is less than or equal to negative 5. So you see we are not able to get x because of this coefficient which is 0, then there is no solution. Case number 2. Case number 2. Now, if m minus 1 is greater than 0, or have m which is greater than 1, then m minus 1 times x, which is less than or equal to negative 5, is equivalent to, now m minus 1 is positive. As usual, now we get x. It seems that we're going to divide both sides by the same positive value. Then we get x, which is less than or equal to negative 5 over m minus 1. Now, solution is sent to s is equal to, we have just x, which is less than or equal to, now we have from negative infinity to negative 5 over m minus 1, and this one is included, then it is excluded. Case number 3. Now, if m minus 1 is less than 0, just we have m which is less than 1, then m minus 1 times x, which is less than or equal to negative 5, is equivalent. Now m minus 1 is negative, which means that we are going to divide both sides by a negative value, which is m minus 1. This case, the inequality sign is going to be reversed. Then we get x, which is greater than or equal to negative 5 over m minus 1. Now our solution is set is equal to minus 5 over m minus 1 to plus infinity excluded. Example number 3. We have m minus 1 times x, which is less than 2m plus 3. Now we have m minus 1 as a solution times x, which is less than 2m plus 3. As you see, just we are interested in this coefficient in x. Here, even if you have m the second side, but you have to discuss about this l minus 1, which is the coefficient in x. Case number 1. If m minus 1 is equal to 0, or m is equal to 1, we replace, we get 0x, which is which is less than 2m plus 3, then as you see we're not able to get this x, then there is no solution. Now solution set S is equal to, it is an empty set. Case number 2, if m minus 1, now it is positive, it is greater than 0, or m which is greater than 1, then m minus 1 times x which is less than 2m plus 3 is equivalent. Now this is positive now, which means that now x, just we're dividing both sides by the same negative value, which is m minus 1, then x is less than or equal to m plus 3 over m minus 1. Now our solution set S is equal to negative infinity to 2m plus 3 m minus 1. Now we have this one is excluded. Case number 3. Case number 3 now, it is when if m minus 1 now is negative, is less than 0, or we have m which is less than 1, then m minus 1 times x which is less than 2m plus 3 is equivalent. Pay attention now. Now this is negative. It is negative. Now we're going to divide both sides by the same negative value, which is m minus 1. Then this inequality sign is going to be reversed. Just x is now greater than 2m plus 3 over m minus 1. Then our solution set is equal to 2m plus 3 over m minus 1 to positive infinity. Excluded. Now we have exercise. Discuss about the solution of the following inequalities where m is a parameter. You have number 1, number 2, and number 3. Thank you very much.